Vows in Paradise have the answers to the destination wedding questions you didn't think to ask, with tips on what guest bringing children do if they're divorced and share custody to avoid customs and immigration delays at the airports, to letting you know what fees you want to use their own officiant or bring a preferred photographer. There's a lot to know about destination weddings. That's why we have Heather here today to kind of put that all together for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So there's a lot.
There is definitely a lot.
Yes.
With destination weddings, it's a lot more information. I always tell my couples when they call, this is going to be a system overload at the beginning because you're going through a lot of questions, trying to figure out what your budget is, figuring out what the best destination is going to be, plus then also finding out how many guests you're going to have, if there's children going to be coming to join the festivities and all that kind of stuff. Getting group activities together if you want something like that. I mean, even for me, sometimes it's just overload.
So what are some tips that you have for the couples?
Absolutely. First, I always recommend doing a little bit of research on your own to start off with. Starting off with which destinations you might want to consider. From there, giving us a call, going through those questions, and then we start researching, getting those perfect destination options. Usually I send about 5 or 6 different properties just to give them an idea of price points on what they want to kind of spend and activities and things like that. Most of the resorts that we work with also offer complimentary ceremonies. So if you have a smaller group going, if you have under 10 or under, sometimes you'll get that complimentary. If you've got more than that, then we would recommend doing an upgraded ceremony package.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and of course during the post-pandemic age where there's a lot of different requirements and things now, it's even better that someone like you can sit down and someone can say, look, I want somewhere warm, and you can be like, great, these places are very easy to coordinate these things. So do you have different packages for couples?
Not necessarily different packages, but what we do is we just go through all of the details and see what they're looking for. From there, then I kind of ask them if they want to do something that's international, something within the U.S., and then we kind of go from there. The most easy places to get to, obviously, Mexico. There's no COVID requirements other than testing when you come home. Jamaica, a little bit easier now that their restrictions have eased up and things like that. Plus there's other destinations out there that are just, I mean, there's so many to choose from and go through. So just finding that best, what's the word I'm looking for? The best.
Like the best fit.
Yeah,
really.
fit for the couple. What they're kind of looking for.
So Heather, let's say I have a destination wedding in September. How long in advance do I have to give you in order to make that happen?
I recommend at least starting to look about a year out just to make sure that we get the date and the location that you want on this resort property. From there, then, we just kind of, your guests can wait up to, a few months before, but it's usually recommended to try and get as early as possible. So I know I've got a couple of weddings that I'm looking for into 2024 already for just getting the resort portion secured. So
my goodness.
And the nice part about planning that far in advance for couples out there is the financial aspect of it. If you know what to expect, you know what you're going to be putting out. It's a lot more difficult to come up with money within 6 months, 9 months versus a year or 2 years.
Exactly. So the nice thing is a lot of our vendors, they will offer payment plans. So you can do your deposit of a certain dollar amount and then you can pay whatever you can until it gets closer to that final payment date, and then just finish off paying at least 45 days prior to your departure dates.
That's amazing. So say that you're Marlon and you've got this elaborate wedding planned right here in good old North Dakota, but you want to have a destination honeymoon. Is that something you can help with?
Absolutely. We do. We specialize in destination weddings and honeymoons with Vows in Paradise.
Nice.
We are part of Travel Group here in Fargo, so we've got a lot of options that we can help with, and as far as honeymoons and even baby moons and anniversary moons and things like that too. So
we need all the moons.
All the moons. Especially in Santorini. Do you have anything in Santorini?
Oh, we can definitely get you to Santorini.
See?
For sure. Absolutely.
How about a North Dakota moon?
Yeah.
North Dakota Today moon.
Definitely.
We're going on a trip.
There we go. Let's do this.
So how can someone get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So they can still reach us here in Fargo-Moorhead with vowsinparadise.com, or you can call our office at 701-492-5000. As I mentioned, we're part of Travel Group, so you can reach us at that number.
Oh, we love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This is very, very fun. And if you want to get in touch with Vows in Paradise to coordinate your dream destination wedding, they're the people to contact.